it so that afterwards we can share the file on YouTube and you can watch this back at your leisure, or preferably forward on to anyone you think might be interested. So some other housekeeping notes, just whilst we're here. This is very much a pilot event. We've come up with the idea, and I'll explain in more detail why exactly, but all feedback is very welcome. I might sound like a broken record during this, asking for your feedback and comments, but that's what it's here for. So this is a pilot event, and we're looking forward to doing the first one next year on the 25th of January. Towards the end of this one, we'll post the LinkedIn link where you can register your interest for the 25th. But just bear in mind it's a pilot, so if any technical issues, just bear with me, but I think we're all good. All of today's speakers have made pre-recorded talks. There's a couple of reasons for that. The first reason is that we wanted to answer questions that we had in advance in full. So all of our speakers received questions and comments and have endeavored to address those issues in their talks. The other reason is simply making sure there's no technical hitches. To have 12 live speakers presents challenges of its own, and I think for this sort of pilot, the best thing to do is to do the videos pre-recorded. If you have any questions for us during any of the talks or at any point, please use the Q&A feature in Zoom. It's the easiest way for us to moderate the questions. But if you just want to say hello or chat with your friends or family, please just use the chat panel on the right side of your screen. So with that, I will move on. So what is Funderbeam Ignite? Well, Funderbeam Ignite is going to be, our plan is to make it a quarterly community event. Why community? Well, Funderbeam and we've built an amazing tech-powered platform that allows investors to buy and sell investments in cool companies. And it also allows founders to raise money to help fulfill their dreams. But the two are kind of needed for each other. And without our community, we aren't really anything at all but a platform. For Funderbeam to grow and to go where we want it to go, the community is probably the most important aspect. And within that, it's important for us to learn how to engage further with our community. So these events are about a two-way. It's us giving you information and you giving information back to us. We can't evolve without your feedback, and we can't progress and go on the journey we want to go on unless you're coming with us. And that's why it's important for us to learn. And we need to learn from any mistakes of the past, but we also need to learn from the feedback and comments you make. We're about to go or start an epic journey, but I think that you don't really go on these journeys and know where you're going unless you look back. And it's important that we look back through these events and see where we need to improve and what we can do to make the whole platform experience better for you. So on that note, I'm going to kick straight on. I'm just going to run you through what we've got today. So obviously, I'm Ollie, Global Head of Marketing for Funderbeam, and you've seen my welcome. Next, we're going to have an introduction from Kaidi Rusalepp, our founder and CEO, before we move on to hear about growth from Kristjan Raude. Then our new CEO of Exchange, Jacqueline Yee, will be talking about the unique nature of our platform and where the exchange is going. Before we move on to hear about product from Katri and some plans that we've got for that. We'll then go on to speaking to our regional heads, and Ardo is going to kick off with some information about our growth in the Baltics and Finland. And then Christian Grønlund, our new head of Denmark and Scandinavia, is going to speak about the opportunities there. After that, we have Ognjan, who's going to talk about why we believe so much in Croatia and that part of the world. And then we have a Q&A with Madis Muur. Before I give out some Funderbeam Awards, and then we hear for some 1-minute pitches from companies that are currently raising on the platform. So I am going to kick off with our video from Kaidi, and let's get the event started.
Dear Funderbeam friends and family, welcome. My name is Kaidi Rusalepp and I'm the founder of Funderbeam. And actually, We are here because of founders having a dream, which they translate into a business plan, which they translate into investable company. So the truth is that there are very few shiny moments during the founder years in fundraising. And this year is one of the shiny moments of Funderbeam when Mistletoe and Saisason invested in Funderbeam. But who do founders need to go and chase the dream? Well, it all starts with early stage investors who come in early, take the risk and support. They need employees who would like to join this journey, but also get a stake in the company. Founders need late stage investors to support the growth and the scale, and obviously the exit providers. We got a really good question and comment from one of our community members and investors asking that Funderbeam is on both sides of the journey, enabling founders to raise very early stage funding and investors to come in very early, and then also providing the exits and actually competing with many stock exchange service providers. But when you think about the names like Spotify and Airbnb, Skype, Netflix, all these businesses are built on the no man's land. So when you get it right, you get it right. So why do companies and founders need Funderbeam? Well, it's there for the exits and capital for the founders. It's there for the growth opportunities and exit for the early stage investors. It's this powerful journey and exit for the employees, buying in and exit for the late stage investors. And at the end of the journey, there's the exit. So we hope Funderbeam gets it right on this no man's land, and we build a strong tech-powered marketplace to match the dreams, investment opportunities, and exits. We will have the role of Funderbeam executives and country heads to present the plans, the past, and the actions of Funderbeam journey on how do we do it and how do we build a tech-powered marketplace on this no man's land. And I give a floor to Kristjan Raude, Funderbeam Chief Growth Officer. Thank you.
Thank you, Oli, and hello to everyone. My name is Kristjan Raude, and I joined Funderbeam 1st of September this year as the new Chief Growth Officer. And I can tell you that I have never been more excited about the 1st of September in my life before. In a daily business, I'm working with sales, marketing, and cross-functional growth team. And I would like to start my presentation with quoting one of the good comments which was left on our platform from investor named Markus, quoting, "I'm worried about Funderbeam. On one hand, the platform is brilliant. I can't emphasize enough how useful and clever Funderbeam is as a product. Also, the user experience is world class. Only one problem, no one knows about Funderbeam." Quoting ended. Thank you so much, Markus, for pointing this out. And this is exactly what I'm aiming to do here, that every founder and investor knows about Funderbeam. Now, before we talk about future and growth of it, let's see how we have done this year in the first 9 months compared to the previous period. We have seen a modest 1.4 times growth in verified investors. And as of today, we have 76,000 users and 23,000 verified investors. For a definition, the verified investor is the person or company who has passed our KYC. Our goal is to grow rapidly by onboarding new investors from the countries where we are active. We also see a nice growth of 3.2 times in funds raised. Our tech-powered platform helped founders to raise and investors to invest 17 million euros so far this year. We are satisfied with the growth of it, and we are looking forward to keeping up this similar pace in the future. Now it's getting really interesting. We see close to 7 times growth in trade settles, reaching close to 13 million euros in the first 9 months this year. As we continue to grow, this number is probably the most exciting to follow. Important facts. This year, we have 6 companies with a trading volume more than €500,000, named Sealand, Amperbikes, Chains, Whom, Funderbeam itself, and Bikekeep. Congratulations to all of them. Our revenue has been grown 2.6 times, close to €850,000. And we are very close to surpassing the magical 7 figures annual revenue benchmark very soon. Now, the next one you can ask, what is TAUC? Please let me explain that. It stands for Total Assets Under Custody and includes the total value of investor assets on our platform plus free funds in wallets. This is the newest KPI that we measure and report. Actually, this is the most important KPI in our business. So we decided to call it our North Star. Everything that we do is to increase its value, be it fundraising, private or public listings, secondaries, tradings, platform as a service, or success of companies of trading our platform. As a benchmark, the current total assets under custody is around €85 million, which have been grown 2.4 times year over year. And all of these results have been delivered by 41 happy and growth-oriented Funderbeamers. Now, during this last stage of this year, we are very busy finalizing the good year of 2021, but we are even more excited about the upcoming year of 2022. Now, let's leave Funderbeam for a moment aside and talk about you as the community. The community of founders, retail investors, traders, influencers, business media, and professional investors like angels and VCs. I am super grateful to all of you for supporting our journey to reach the level where we are today and believing in us along the way when we're reaching new heights. Please allow me to address separately each member of our community and share the most important activity that we are working with to bring more value to the stakeholders. It all starts with the founders. Like Kaidi mentioned, it's all because of their crazy founders who have a dream to change to the world to a better place. And let's be honest, every member of the community is here to support the founder and his or her company to be the next success story. The most important activity, what we are working on, is speed to the money. First, we will make the whole fundraising process much faster than it is today. And I'm happy to say that 1/3 of it is already done. One important change that we are working on is to remove lead investor as a requirement in fundraisings, as well strengthening PR and marketing support for the founders and companies raising. The next important members of our community are retail investors. And the key activity what we're working is growing active investor base in each country where we operate. Early stage investing, as you may know, is mostly domestic, and we need to have a good balance of deal flow and investors. One key activity here, what we're working is educating the markets. So as early stage investing and trading for retail investors is something very new in the market, we have a good opportunity to be the source of knowledge on the internet, be it blogging, educational webinars, podcasts, social media, email, to name a few channels that we are planning to leverage. The next important members are traders. Even if early stage investing is long period oriented, we welcome active traders. And here the key activity what we're working is improving the liquidity. We are unique in the world because of our exchange, aka secondary market, which enables exit opportunities to everyone, what Kaidi was talking about. After my presentation, you will hear about it from our new CEO of Exchange, Jacqueline. Meanwhile, I'm happy to share that Funderbeam has the first successful exit on the platform. Comes from Croatia and the company called Medvedgrad. Congratulations to the founders, to the team, and all the investors involved. Now, next member of our community are influencers who blog, make videos, etc. about investing. And like I mentioned before, one of our key activities will be educating the founders and investors about early stage fundraising and investing. So we are looking for ways how we can work together with influencers to create better awareness, visibility, and knowledge about the industry. As early stage fundraising and investing is moving from niche to mainstream, we need to also involve business media here. We believe that there are some truly exceptional companies fundraising and trading on Funderbeam. They deserve better visibility in wider media, and wider media deserve to have a simpler access to Funderbeam news and live market data. Our strategic goal is to have partnerships with media outlets in each country where we are operating. And I'm excited to announce that we already have the first pilot signed with the local major business portal called Ärileht, owned by Delphi. From the news portal already today, Funderbeam live market data is accessible in an easy way, and investing and trading is just one click away. And last but not least, Funderbeam is not only the platform for retail investors, it is also the platform for professional investors like angels and VCs. Here we are working with our new product offering called Platform as a Service, specifically tailored to angel networks, VCs, and accelerators. The example use case for angel networks is that they can create and manage their private syndicates on Funderbeam with less hassle, a faster time, and as a bonus, have liquidity within the syndicate investors. The market response so far has been very good. We introduced 2 pilot partnerships this year with Danube Angels and startup Wise Guys, and we have signed a first pilot agreement with the local business angel network. Ardo, our head of Baltics and Finland, will talk more about it. So overall, this is it, the community of Funderbeam, where we are looking forward to growing all together while creating new opportunities for everyone. What you just heard was a high-level overview of what's going on regarding Funderbeam's growth plan with fundraising business vertical. Our new CEO of Exchange, Jacqueline, will talk about Funderbeam Exchange as our second business vertical in the next presentation. And just for a heads up, during our next Funderbeam Ignite event on January 25th, we will present the plans for the Q1 and for the rest of the year. Until then, have a wonderful life. Thank you and see you soon.
Thanks, Kristjan, for that. Just your regular reminder that if you have any comments, feedback, or questions, to please use the Q&A function or chat with us in the chat window. But also you can contact all of us on LinkedIn if you want. We'll be posting some links later. But please do get in touch if you feel the need. So thanks for that, Kristjan. Next up, we have Jacqueline, who we welcomed officially yesterday online as our new CEO of the Exchange, and she has sent in her pre-recorded video from Singapore, where she's based. So without any further ado, let's see what Jacqueline has to say.
Hi, I'm Jacqueline. I'm the new CEO of Funderbeam Exchange. I'd like to share with you today a snapshot of our performance in secondary market and trading. 2021 has been a highlight and a notable performance year for Funderbeam. As you would have heard from our founder and CEO, Kaidi Rusalepp, Funderbeam continues strongly on its mission as the private company's tech-powered global marketplace for founders and investors. The Funderbeam Exchange has grown from strength to strength since first trading in 2016. In 2017, our second year of trading, our trading values grew 6.5 times, and in every second year since then, we have grown over 3 times. Looking at 2020 to 2021, the inter-year quarterly seasonal performance, the upward trend continues with positive performance in every of the 4 quarters in that year. The aggregate annual change between 2020 and 2021 is a 276 percentage points increase. This positions us really well to embark on our growth action plan, as you would have heard from our Chief Growth Officer, Kristjan Raude. Liquidity and availability of capital is key in every secondary marketplace. And this is one of our main focus for our future, to grow the pool of both traders and larger investors across our markets. Let's have a closer look at the exchange marketplace. We have a powerhouse community. As at 21st November, our value of cumulative trading value grew to 22.5 million euros. Our offer choices of investment assets and industry segments stand at 72 issuer instruments and 19 industry segments recorded as at Q3 2021. And alongside that, the exchange has executed over that period almost 100,000 trades. Looking at some statistics, the mean trading value is 1 million euros, with the median at 332,000 euros, which indicates a slight positive skewness. The industry segments with 1 million euros trading values each aggregate to 83% of the total value and are represented by 6 industry segments. Thus, we are continuing to extend our reach, deepening our liquidity pools, facilitating companies with multiple liquidity events, and supporting investors with timely exit opportunities. For example, the successful private listing on our exchange with the accompanying secondary settlements for Helmus earlier this year in spring. We are global, and we have active traders from many countries, including Sweden, Luxembourg, and we are strong in Estonia and Croatia. You'll hear later from our team of dedicated regional coverage experts who will share with you their insights. Now back to the exchange. Our active products currently include secondaries, public and private, and secondaries settlements for trades and custody services. For our trade settlements, in 2020, we enhanced our T+10 trade settlements to an instantaneous settlement on our exchange that runs 24/7, 365 days a year. In concert with our growth action plan, we are planning and working with our products team to deepen and expand on our offerings to address that slight skewness in trading values composition. We have in our pipeline our broker link product ready to go, and our bespoke secondaries private ESOP settlements is gaining traction. So this means that we can offer one-time service to all larger companies who want to handle their secondary share sale without continuous trading. On the data front, we just launched our first pilot with Arelef to provide live market data for the readers of that financial and business media portal. You'll hear more about our products from our Chief Product Officer, Katri Kubar. I hope you will continue to enjoy our program. I will hand you over now back to Ollie.
Thanks, Jacqueline, for that virtual handbag. So as Jacqueline just mentioned, next up is Katri Kubar, who's our Chief Product Officer, and she's going to provide you with some updates on the platform and the product itself. So take it away, Katri.
Hello, everyone. So I'm Katri, and I have just recently joined Funderbeam as the Chief Product Officer. And today I'm really delighted to give you some overview and insight about the Funderbeam products. I hope most of you are already users of Funderbeam platform. So Funderbeam is the two-sided platform, joining the founders and the investors. For the founders, we offer fundraising, meaning the money to fuel the growth of the companies, and the listing and secondary settlement services. So it is about giving liquidity to the early employees, investors, and also founders. And on the other side, there are investors who are interested about the attractive companies, growth companies that they otherwise wouldn't have any access to. And we provide the access via the Funderbeam platform, plus in the future also via the selected brokers. What happens this year? So as you have now heard from Jacqueline and from Kristjan, what are the growth plans for next year? To support the growth and to support the partnerships and to support the expansion, the first and foremost is getting the core product brilliant. So it is about the speed, clarity, responsiveness. Firstly, we will make the fundraise process 3 times faster. We are midway there already, and by the end of the year, it will be the reality. So listing products will be packaged as a clear offering. As we have done a few successful listings already this year, we see that there is clear market, and we are happy to offer this using our platform and available building blocks. If you think about successful companies, then usually there is no one single silver bullet that will solve or ensure the success of the company. So this is about the consecutive steps in the right direction. And this is what also Funderbeam is planning to do. A lot of fast data-driven changes and iterations to learn by doing and using the market feedback to evaluate if we're doing good. And it's also about listening to the community. And that's why we are today here and talking to you. So keep on giving your feedback on the discussion board and other medium. So happy to listen, and I hope to surprise you more and more on our product offering with the changes that you have requested. If we're looking at the longer future, the perspective, then next year, one focus for sure is the expansion. As Funderbeam has already proved itself on Estonian market, and it has done awful complicated job on licensing and creating the compliance platform that actually will enable us to expand wherever, like globally. So now the easy part of scaling just needs to be done, and we will reach that market by market. And the other part of the next year plans is start offering more the platform as a service solutions. As we see, the founders have more and more need for tailor-made solutions to get the liquidity, to get the funding. This involves private fundraisers, private listings, and also the secondary settlements. So this is what we are planning, and hope to talk to you soon and hear from you soon. Thanks.
Thanks for that, Katri. Very helpful, and I'm sure that lots of our existing users are going to have some feedback and suggestions for you in the coming days, weeks, and months. So that's it from the platform, the growth and the exchange point of view. Now we're going to go on to hear from our regional heads. And our first regional head to hear from is Ardo, talking about the Baltics and Estonia in general. So I'm going to hand over to Ardo.
Hi, I'm Ardo, and I'm responsible for the Baltic region and Finnish market. This year has shown a strong growth in our region. Partially, it is due to the supportive market and industry trends, but mainly because of the strong companies who have raised funds on Funderbeam and who are working hard to develop and scale their business. And of course, because of the growing interest of local investors. I sincerely thank you for your support. During first 10 months of this year, we had 17 successful fundraisings, and we have raised over 13 million of funds. And we're still counting, as 3 projects are currently raising and 4 projects are in preparation phase. What makes me especially proud is that together with our Finnish partner Startmore, we successfully fundraised for first 3 Finnish companies. And we added more than 6,500 new investors from Estonia, Finland, Latvia, and Lithuania. But this is only Funderbeam side of the story. For you, to our investors and companies, we are looking new catalysts to fuel our growth in 2022. Baltic and Finnish investors are interacting actively. And in 2022, we will strengthen our focus in Finnish market and prepare our market entry in Lithuania in Q1, and to Latvia right after that. We continue to find ways to cooperate with local investor organizations who are playing an important part of evaluating, mentoring, and investing into early stage growth companies. As an example, beginning of this week, we signed a cooperation agreement with Estonian Business Angel Network. We see a lot of work and opportunities ahead of us in 2022, and therefore I'm confident that we can help more great companies to raise funds and list their shares on Funderbeam, and to provide great investment opportunities to investors. Thank you all.
Okay, thanks for that, Ardo. Very informative. Up next is our new head of Denmark and the Nordics, Kristjan Grønlund, who's going to talk about why Denmark is such a good opportunity for us.
Hi, my name is Kristjan. I am head of Scandinavia and Denmark, the land of opportunities and mermaids, as you can see in the presentation, but obviously also awesome startups. The first question I would like to address is why Denmark first? Because obviously since we're Scandinavia, we have a lot of opportunities here. But one of the things that are really inherent to Danish people is the trust and the co-ops that we've had since the agricultural age, I'd say. And those core values are the same that are being used when investing in equity crowdfunding. And one of the trends that we see a lot in Denmark at the moment is in terms of green solutions and sustainability. And that really goes hand in hand with the way that you can invest through Funderbeam. And over the recent years, we've also seen quite a big raise in the amount that are being raised in crowdfunding in Denmark. And just recently, as of November, we've had the new EU legislation coming in. So it's a lot easier for companies to raise money and to attract capital as well. Easier for investors to invest, basically. So a lot of good things in Denmark. So who are these investors in Denmark? We're seeing an all-time high in terms of investments into stocks. We have growing capital from international partners in Denmark. We have more than 4,000 business angels. And we also see a lot more co-investments between VCs and angels and the average person, which ultimately creates that ecosystem that everyone benefits from. So what's next in Denmark is an obvious question. We have a pipeline of more than 150 companies. I've met a lot of great entrepreneurs over the past months, and you'll see a lot of these cases coming in the months ahead. Really looking forward to present them to you. We're also in dialogues with institutional partners such as Vækstfonden, Danban, Keystones. We have a lot of discussions with VCs to make sure that this ecosystem is in place and that we're working together. And in the coming month, we'll go on a Denmark tour and also grow the Danish user base in terms of investors through PR, events, networking, and other great things. So hope to meet you out there. I'm very confident that we will see a lot of great traction in Denmark, and I'm honored to lead this journey in Scandinavia. So cheers.
Thanks, Kristjan. I, for one, am looking forward to the Denmark tour. So I'm going to book that in now. Next up is Ognjan Despot, our head of Croatia and the SEE region. So I'm going to hand over to him right now.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you in this huge number, and thank you all for joining us on this groundbreaking event in organization of Funderbeam for our investor base. I'm Ognjan Despot. I'm new head of Central and Eastern Europe at the moment, focusing currently in Croatia. To put the region in numbers, since 2015, the region got almost 550 million euros of investment, and just last year, that number was almost 150 million. So we see a huge increase in investors' interest in investing in the region. Comparing to a couple of years ago, our average campaign was around 200,000 euros, and that number rose to 400K at the moment, and is still rising. And our current government is really giving their best to incentivize investors and companies investing here through some tax incentives and generally trying to set up the climate as a more favorable to anyone who wants to invest in the region. How Funderbeam positions itself. Since 2017, we fundraised almost 6 million euros. And at the moment, we don't have a direct competition. So we are in a perfect position to set up the foundation to become the investors platform in the region, if not in the whole Europe. Our strong partnership with Zagreb Stock Exchange and Danube Angels at the moment are giving us the trustworthiness that our investors love, and especially that brings us the companies that want to fundraise with us. And at the moment, as we are specialized in Series A funding, we are a perfect market fit for the current situation and what market needs. What's next? My main goal, my personal goal is to support and first and foremost to visit the biggest hubs and incubators and give them the needed support from our side, and then setting up the Croatia as a regional center for fundraising for Funderbeam. At the moment, also we are in negotiations with a couple of biggest Croatian companies on setting up a lead investor fund that will fund Croatian companies on Funderbeam. And definitely when Croatia becomes profitable, and hopefully this will be done by the end of this year, we will definitely expand to countries in the region. If you have any questions, I'm at your disposal on my email and off to my colleague. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Ognjan. I know you've also been very busy preparing and launching a new Croatian business on the platform, so thanks very much for taking the time out. You may have noticed that I've been joined by Madis Muur, who is one of the more busy investors on the Funderbeam platform and well known to many of you, I'm sure. We decided that we would drag Madis in for a quick Q&A around how he has used the platform to great success. And so I just have a few questions. But first, welcome.
Hi, Oli. Thank you for having me.
No,
hi, everybody.
You're welcome. Welcome to join the very first Funderbeam Ignite. It's a seminal moment. It's probably a historic moment. So just for our audience in general, how long have you been investing on the platform?
I've been investing overall since 2006, into startups since 2015, and on the platform since 2017. Back then I helped Ampler to fundraise their earliest round on the platform, and maybe a few smaller ones before that, but that was the first one.
Ampler is the electric city bikes business that's had pretty good success on the platform, and I think we'll actually be mentioning a little bit later on. One of the questions that came in for you, Madis, from outside was, what's your general strategy around building a portfolio on Funderbeam, and how many investments have you made, and how many do you have now? Like, how many does it take? I mean, is there a formula, or do you kind of take it as it comes?
I have raised for several companies as a lead investor. So, I mean, I make a bit of a difference whether I take like a strategic role or like an active role. Then, like these companies, I definitely have to understand better and believe in them more, and maybe they, in some cases, have to be a bit less risky also. And then I take a bit bigger position. So I have like around 6-7 more meaningful position for me on the platform, but also I like to diversify. Like I can't limit my investment portfolio with only what I understand very well.
Sure.
I can't be the limitation of my own success. So I also diversify outside of my own competences as well. As long as I see that there are like great experienced investors abroad on board that company, then I'm quite comfortable to at least do a small diversification ticket as well.
Would you say that's one of the key things that you look at when there's a new launch on Funderbeam, or the other investors that have joined the round early?
Yes, that's true. Then somebody else has already done the homework, and also very likely is helping the company out also, like with the next fundraising, with the mentorship, contacts, everything. This is super important early stage investing.
Sure. So we titled this rather cheekily on our marketing of how I made my first million on Funderbeam. And when I say I mean Madis. So the question came in, actually the question came into us before is it possible to make this much money on the Funderbeam platform, and how can one do it? In this case, how did you do it, and how is it possible?
Yes, I did. It was my first one, not on the platform, but overall. But yeah, it's pretty much similar to investing on the stock market as well. You just have to build a portfolio, like invest into 20-30 companies at least, keep investing them, and like give them time to grow. Like actually, one of the early mistakes I had was like my second year of investing. Like the winners were like winning small, but the ones that didn't take off, they were already struggling. And so I was like really pissed at the startups overall. And luckily back in 2016, before Funderbeam, I wasn't able to sell it. So I managed to like avoid my own limitations, my own like inexperience, my own fears.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I kept doing it, and third and fourth year were already great, and like companies were already growing very well. And so yeah, but one other point is that sometimes like the markets are very optimistic or very pessimistic, and currently it's a bit pessimistic as well. But back in 2018 it was also, and so like the valuations were really low, and I did what Warren Buffett does, that be greedy when others are fearful.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like buying up stuff that was there cheap, and like Ampler at around €1, etc. And so like thanks to that everybody was selling, I was able to get good companies very cheaply. And I think currently is pretty similar situation as well.
Yeah, so I guess the moral of the story is not to take the market always as read, but to look in the longer term. Just before we let you go, I suppose one of the questions I actually had emailed to me this morning was, could you ask Madis his one kind of best tip for Funderbeam? And I think that we can rephrase it that it's not a tip, but a suggestion for people starting out on the platform, where they should start and what they should look at to begin with as new investors.
Take it as a marathon and not a sprint. Like winning takes time. You don't get rich like day after tomorrow or in a few months. Like build a portfolio of at least like 20-30 companies, and yeah, like it's a marathon.
Okay, well, thanks very much for joining us. That's very kind. I'm sure I'll buy you a drink afterwards. Funnily enough, actually, you're here. Just hold on for 1 second, Madis, because I've just realized the next segment we're moving on to is the Funderbeam Awards. And this wasn't planned, by the way. I didn't know that you'd be sitting here to do this. But on that note, the Funderbeam Awards is something that we came up with a bit lighthearted to congratulate people who've done well on the platform. But of course, I just remembered that the very first award is the most engaged investor, which is Madis. And that's because he had over 340 likes on about 79 comments over the last period on the platform. So well done, Madis. We'll be sending you your award in the post.
Thank you.
But thanks very much for joining me in the meantime.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
No, you're welcome. Okay, so as I've started the awards, I'm going to continue. Thanks, Madis. That was very cool. And next award we have is the top 3 most traded companies on the platform in 2021. So we've mentioned Ampler Bikes a few times already, smart city bikes. And second was Silen, the maker of silence cabins, and Change, an exciting crypto and fintech business. So those are the top 3 most traded companies. We'll be sending all of their representatives something as by way of the award. The most active trader of the year, Tunu Danilas. So this it was interesting. I think as the most active trader, we believe that Tunu made over 7,500 trades in 2021. Which is quite an effort. So congratulations to you again. We'll be sending you your certificate and something by way of recognition from Funderbeam. The growth rocket of the year was Belief Water, whose price has gone up 180% on the exchange in the year of 2021. So great news for you and especially for your investors. Congratulations to everyone who backed Belief. And our final award is the most diverse portfolio, which is Kristjan Raude, who kindly emailed me last night to accept his award. And I believe Kristjan had over 72 instruments in his portfolio, which again, is quite an effort and obviously a very smart guy. So we're coming towards the end of the presentation. We're running close to our hour. What I wanted to remind you was that this is being recorded and we will make this available on YouTube this evening, hopefully. And all the slides are available if anyone wants to have those individually. So again, just let us know in the chat or send an email to marketing@funderbeam.com and we'll send over whatever you need. Now, the last portion of Funderbeam Ignite is the elevator pitches from 4 of the businesses that are currently raising on the platform. Most of you will be familiar with the term elevator pitch, and I set the challenge to 4 of our businesses to pitch to you their investment opportunity in under 1 minute. So I'm going to start with Meret, who launched on the platform 2 days ago, who make bio-based sneakers out of Croatia. And here's their 1 minute pitch.
To all attendees of Funderbeam Ignite, let me present Meret. More than 24 billion pairs of shoes were made just in 2019. Made mostly from oil derivatives and leather, shoes have a massive environmental impact. So, we decided to use our expertise and redesign shoes from the bottom up to make them compatible with nature. We created Meret, environmentally advanced footwear designed to have the lowest possible impact on the environment. Crafted from 9 plant materials and wool, Meret sneakers are a solution for footwear sustainability without compromising on design, durability, and comfort. Meret won the International Design Award and the Global Footwear Award for 2020 in sustainable footwear categories, being recognized as the forerunners in the market segment. We found our product market fit, and now we are raising funds so we can scale our direct-to-consumer and business-to-business sales. We will use the funds to expand to new markets and reach out to more consumers. We invite you to join Meret, and together we can step into a greener future.
Okay, that's the elevator pitch from Meret, and Nika has just dropped the URL there in the chat if you'd like to check that one out. Next up on our list is Big Technologies, maker of the Big Vault, which is a smart license plate storage solution. So let's see what Charlene, CEO of Big Technologies, has to say.
We are big. We are based in Silicon Valley with Estonian co-founders and early investors. We are working with the largest automotive players in the industry. They use our technology to provide remote access to their robo-taxis with their autonomous vehicles and rental companies. They use our technology because we provide scalability to their thousands, if not millions of vehicles in the lot. We have phenomenal investors, including Panasonic, that helps us to strengthen our existing and upcoming patents. We currently have 1.7 million of purchase orders, and that is why we're raising these funds to fulfill these purchase orders and start the engine of mass production. Our engineering and R&D are based in Estonia, and of course, our manufacturing as well will be in Estonia. It's a very exciting time for us. Once we start mass production, we'll get to revenue. 2022 will be a huge year for us.
Thanks to Charlene there from Big Technologies. Next is another company that's new-ish to the platform. Just last week, they launched their raise, and this is Dueland, a sustainable financial investment platform based out of Denmark.
I'm Jacob, the CEO and founder of Dueland. Our world needs massive investments to fuel the sustainable transition. Most of us want to live more sustainably and have piles of cash in our bank accounts. Few invest towards a more positive future. Dueland helps you do that. You express what you find important within sustainability, and we invest accordingly and take care of the rest. You can track your financials and your impact on my Dueland afterwards. We are live, and we can see that it's working. 40% of our customers have never invested before, close to half are women. Our scalable platform is ready to be leveraged. Our aim is to democratize sustainable investing. The most natural step is for us to democratize ourselves. We look so much forward to welcome a lot of new investors. Join us.
Thanks, Jacob. From Dueland there again, the links are being posted by Nika into the chat if you'd like to check those out. And finally, last but not least, with his elevator pitch is Roman from Rurix, raising on the platform for electric charging stations for electric vehicles. So let's listen to Roman's elevator pitch.
Hi guys, my name is Roman. I'm co-founder of Rurix. We are raising money in Funderbeam platform with a purpose to create one of the biggest public charging point networks in Baltic states and Scandinavia. Why to invest in Rurix? Because it's very profitable business, because it has very high potential, market potential, with a growing rate of 40% per year. Because we know this market, we're already 4 years operating and installing charging points all over Estonia. We have excellent relationship with the producers of chargers. We have very good deals on the table, and we invite everybody to take part in this business because it's still in the baby shoes, because there is very few charging points in all the Europe, and to be the first on the market, to get the best locations, guarantees the success in the future. Thanks a lot, and you are welcome on board.
Thanks, Roman. If you'd like to find out more about any of the businesses that just pitched to you, please obviously go to funderbeam.com. Now, you may have noticed I've been joined by a special guest. Welcome, Kaidi. Kaidi's going to give a little goodbye message before we go, but I wanted to thank all of you. Over 200 people have attended the first Ignite. It's a pilot. The idea now is to get feedback from you. Tell me how I can do it better. Tell me how we can do it better. But a reminder, just again, the 25th of January is the allocated date for the next one. And I look forward to seeing you there. And I'll leave it to Kaidi to say goodbye.
Thank you, Oli, for hosting, but more importantly, thank you all for joining, for watching, but also being the community of Funderbeam. And here's my also CTA call to action to you. Be a demanding client, be a demanding community member. So when you see something that we need to change, let us know. Where you see the improvements, the new features, let us know. Paul, you ask what market next? Let us know where should we be next. So be there, be active, be demanding, be critical. Only then we can be better, because and the mobile app, obviously, very much asked feature or development from Funderbeam. You've seen the numbers on the screen, or actually you've seen there should be a numbers on the screen. So we'll share all the slides and with tiny little numbers and make the numbers bigger next time. But also what you understand is to build a marketplace that is across the borders, that is across the fundraising stages, and also provides an exit. It's kind of a complex solution and complex, like Kristjan likes to say, it's not a problem, it's a challenge. And we'll do our best to be on top of the challenge. And thank you all, not only for the past, but actually thank you for helping us to build the future.
Okay, thanks. Thanks again, everyone. See you next time.
Thank you.